Hi guys, hello and welcome to Snap 2025. This is the last lab and today we are going to be talking about reasoning. My name is Abhilasha and I hope you already know me, and we have discussed some amount of grammar and some vocab in the previous sessions, and today we are going to be covering some logical reasoning. You know that the LR section is an important part of your exam. So therefore, today's session we cover course of action, cause effect, and also syllogisms. But before I begin, let me quickly check if you can see me and hear me, if I am audible and visible. Can you give me a quick yes or no as to check if I'm audible and visible? And also, if you can see me and hear me, can you give me a quick yes or no about it? Also, remember to hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember, the like and share is for us because, of course, who doesn't love to get lots of likes and shares? But also, the subscription is for you so that you are notified of our sessions and also that you can participate in the chat box. So, for all of that, guys, we are going to be asking you to do the like and the share. All right, if you're here, give me a yes. Let's begin. Let's not waste any time. We've got a number of questions, about 15 of them that we will cover. So let's do this. So the first topic that we will learn today, of course, is course of action. Now, if you haven't learned course of action till now, well, it's a very simple concept. So a course of action question will present a situation or a problem, maybe socioeconomic, organizational, ethical, followed by two or more suggested actions, and you have to identify which actions should be taken. So actions should be logical, practical, and relevant. The responses have to be relevant. The test checks decision making, critical thinking, and awareness of realistic outcomes, but not moral or emotional bias. How do you solve these questions? So, first of all, identify what is the core problem. Isolate the main issue and not the story around it. Okay, avoid reacting emotionally, analyze what needs to be done and not what should be done. Okay, then assess each action on three grounds. There are three things that you should check. Is it relevant? Is it practical? Is it ethical? Okay. When I say relevant, does it directly answer the problem? Does it solve the question that we have? Practical, can it be actually done? It should not be something imaginary that you and I are talking about. And also ethical, if it is fair, legal, and socially acceptable. Then avoid extremes. Any suggestion of violence, illegality, irrationality are not logical, right? Closing all schools to prevent cheating will be impractical. You cannot do that, right? Then also distinguish long term versus immediate actions. Some actions are preventive, so they're long term. Some are corrective, therefore they are immediate or short term. Depends on the nature of the problem also, whether your solution is going to be long term or short term. Then you reject overgeneralized or vague actions. So any action that is very vague, not specific, eliminate that. Look for clear result-oriented steps. Now beware of emotional or reactionary responses. SNAP favors balanced administrative decisions, not extreme social commentary, right? So identify the core issue in the statement, then evaluate each course of action using relevance, feasibility, and positivity. Eliminate any emotional, vague, unrealistic options. Mark only those which mitigate or prevent the issue. Remember, you must try to resolve the issue. If you cannot, then you must try to remove the problem. If you cannot, then you must try to reduce the problem. So, our three steps are to resolve, to remove, or to reduce. And one of these is going to help you do that. Okay, so resolve, remove, and reduce. All right, let's take a look at some questions. Here's the question. A statement is followed by two courses of action, numbered 1 or 2. Options could be 1, only one course of action follows, 2, both follow, 3, either follow but not both, or 4, neither follows. Choose what is the right option. So there has been an unprecedented increase in the price of essential commodities during the past few days due to a strike call given by the Transporters Association. Now, the government should immediately deploy all government vehicles for the movement of essential commodities to tide over the crisis, and the Transporters Association should be persuaded to withdraw their strike call to bring in normalcy in the supply of essential commodities. Please understand, can anyone immediately deploy all the government vehicles, and also can they deploy all the government vehicles? No, they cannot. So therefore, one is not valid. It has a lot of extreme choices. Two, however, is valid, that you will try and persuade the Transporters Association to withdraw their strike call so that the normalcy is brought back in the supply of essential commodities. So here the correct answer will be option number 2, and that's your answer. Okay, let's look at the second question. I'm hoping that you will help me answer this question. So, a large number of students have been caught using unfair means, so they've been cheating during the final year degree exams. Now, what should you do in this case if the students in the final year have been cheating? All students should permanently be debarred from appearing for any examination conducted by authority. Well, you cannot permanently debar any student. You can debar a student for 3 years from appearing for any examination. Therefore, one would be invalid. The guardians of these students should be called by the authority to inform them that such behavior will not be tolerated. Yes, of course, this is something that can be done and should be done. So correct answer will be 2. Please understand, we are only choosing from these two. Which ones? It is not necessarily the only one. Okay, let's look at question number 3. Due to excessive alcohol drinking, a lot of people are losing their kidneys in the state of Punyana. Okay, that's very interesting. So people are losing their kidneys. Now, what do? Government should keep a check on illegal supply of alcohol in Punyana, but it's entirely possible that the legal supply also is causing this. So one does not help. For the sake of humanity, people should come forward to donate their kidneys to the affected people in Punyana. Well, please understand that this is an extreme option and therefore not valid. So answer will be 4, neither 1 nor 2 follows. Let's look at the fourth question. So while entering his room, Rakesh found a snake coiled under the chair in the veranda. So Rakesh thinks that the snake is non-venomous and hence should immediately catch hold of the snake. Can you catch hold of a snake to throw it out? No. So therefore, one is just invalid. Ramesh should lock himself inside the room and alert the forest department. Yes, he needs to protect himself, and therefore 2 is valid. So your correct answer will be option number 2. Okay, that's the right course of action. Let's look at the next question. So the company X has rejected the first lot of valves supplied by company A and has cancelled its entire order, quoting use of inferior quality material and poor craftsmanship. Okay, so company X had ordered some valves from company A and company A has given some valves. They rejected the first lot and cancelled the entire order. Now, what does company A need to do? It needs to investigate the functioning of its purchase, production, and quality control department. Yes, why not? They need to. Company A should inspect all the valves rejected by company X. Well, yes, why not? That also makes sense. And company A should inform company X that, but this will probably not happen. Okay, so 1 and 2 definitely are valid courses of action. So 1 and 2 both. Okay. All right, let's go to the next topic, cause and effect. Now, in cause and effect questions, 2 statements, 1 and 2 are given. You have to identify what is the causal relationship between the two. If one is the cause or the effect, or if both are independent causes, or both are effects of the same cause, or if they are effects of independent causes. So that also is possible. Huh? There is one more option, which is effects of independent causes. Now, please understand that questions may have different types of options. So please understand that. So when there is a causal relationship, answer will be 1 or 2, which is 1 is the cause, 2 is the effect, or 2 is the cause and 1 is the effect. If that doesn't happen, then you have to look for whether both the events have one common cause, or if both of them are effects of independent causes. If that also doesn't happen, then they both have to be independent causes, which is a dummy option. So the rule is very simple: understand the direction of causality. So cause will always precede the effect. That means it will always come before the effect. Look for sequence, not simultaneity. They should not happen at the same time. It rained heavily last night. The road is flooded this morning. So if the rain has happened first, the flooding has happened later. So therefore, one is the cause and two is the effect. Okay, so that's how you do it. Then check if one can exist without the other. If the second statement is a result or consequence, then the cause effect relationship exists. If both can exist independently, they are unrelated. Okay. Now, differentiate correlation from causation. Increase in ice cream sales and rise in drowning incidents are correlated. They're happening at the same time, but there's no causal relationship. Now, the hidden variable could be that there is hot weather and therefore people are eating ice cream and people are going and swimming in the rivers and they might be drowning. So there may be a common cause. Now, identify common cause scenarios. Sometimes both statements stem from the same cause. Farmers protested in Delhi, government promised to revise agricultural policy. Both are effects of public unrest. So if they come from same cause, then they become effects of same cause. Otherwise, there could be effects of independent causes also. Reject illogical temporal or time-based reversals. The effect cannot logically occur before the cause. Stock market crash led to poor rainfall. Now that's ridiculous. So that will not happen. Okay. Look for grammatical and logical clues such as due to, therefore, consequently, as a result, led to, which show the cause-effect direction. Now, identify one logically precedes and leads to the other. Check for hidden or common causes, eliminate unrelated coincidences, and then choose. Okay. So these would be your options. Let's take a look. So the professor did not take a class on syllogism. There was no question on syllogism in the examination. So why did the professor not take? So this is how you ask. You ask why one and check if the answer is 2. Okay. Why 1? Because 2. But this is not happening. But if I ask why 2, why was there no question on syllogism in the exam? Because the teacher had not taught it. So therefore 1 is the cause and 2 is the effect. So answer will be A, 1 is the cause and 2 is the effect. And see how simple it is. Right? Okay. Why are computers becoming commonplace in the Indian households? Because computer education is necessary for students? No. Why is computer education necessary for students from a young age? Because computers are becoming commonplace in the Indian households. Ooh. So therefore 1 is the cause and 2 is the effect. So answer will be 1. Look at the third question. The car manufacturing companies have recently increased the price. The government has recently increased the duty on imposed on cars. So why has the government increased the duty imposed on cars? Because car manufacturers have increased the prices? No. Why have the car manufacturers increased the prices? Because the government has increased the duty. So 2 is the cause, 1 is the effect. So answer will be option number 2. 2 is the cause and 1 is the effect. Okay, let's look at question number 4. Government has announced an increase in the MSP for wheat. The price of wheat-based products such as bread and flour have gone up in the market. So why has the government increased the MSP? I don't know. But why are the prices of wheat-based products going up in the market? So I will ask why too. Because the MSP has gone up, right? So because 1. So 1 is the cause and 2 is the effect, and answer is going to be option number 1. Okay, I hope you got that. All right, let's come to the third concept for today, which is syllogisms. Sorry, Karthik, which question? Can you just come back and tell me? Was it this question or this one? Tell me and I'll come to that question, okay? All right, let's take a look for syllogisms. A syllogism tests deductive reasoning. How do you derive logical conclusion from two or more given statements or premises? So there is a quantitative relationship or a categorical relationship which you have to see and develop. So you are given two quantitative relationships and you have to identify which conclusion will logically follow. So number one, you must know what are the four syllogistic forms. So you have the A type, which is all A are B. You have the E type, which is no A is B. You have the I type, which is some A are B. And you have the O type, some A are not B. Then you know how to draw simple Venn diagrams, visualize them as, so here is the A type. I will draw it out for you. So here is all A are B. This is all A are B, or you could also draw it like this, all A are B. And this is the overlapping portion. This is the overlapping portion. If you have to look at the E type is this. Okay. This is A, this is B, and no A is B. This is the portion that satisfies your statement. Then the I type, guys, will have four different forms. So the first and the most common I type diagram is this, which is A, this is B, and this is the overlapping portion. Then you could also have this, where A is the overlapping portion. You could also have this, where B is the overlapping portion. And then you could finally have A or B total overlaps, in which case this would be the diagram. Then if you look at the O type, so the first diagram for I is also the diagram for this, but the overlap would be, or the shaded part would be here. Or you could also draw it like this. Here are some A's in the outermost portion which are not B. And then you could draw it like this also. Here are A's which are not B's. Okay. So this is how you would draw each of these. So draw, then visualize their intersections to see if a conclusion is valid. Remember, a conclusion is valid only and only when it is valid for all possibilities of a particular question. Okay. All right. So definite will always be true. So possible may be true, but not necessarily. So some questions ask possibility type of questions. So be careful if the question says may be possible, might be possible, or is a possibility. Then you can take something that is possible. Okay. Otherwise, you will look for a definite answers. Okay. Now, if all A are B and all B are C, then all A are C is definite. Some A are B and all B are C, then some A are C is possible, right? If no A is B, then some A are not B is certain, okay? So please be very careful with these questions. Also remember, the directional validity is very, very true here in this question. All dogs are animals does not mean all animals are dogs. So there is nothing like that is happening. All right. So remember to check the possible questions. Check if one of the diagrams has an overlap, then mark it. Okay. So let's try doing this. Let's do a couple of questions. Here is your first question. Honesty is the best policy. Some best policy is not good. So if I were to draw honesty is the best policy and some best policy is not good. So I could draw it like this. So this is good. And here are the best policies which are not good. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let me undo this. Or let me erase this. My bad, guys. Okay. Here is the best policy which is not good. Right? Okay. So let's take a look. So no honesty is good. Now, no honesty is good, no, but I have some honesty which is good, right? I'm going to mark it in purple. This honesty is good and it is, so therefore it is invalid. Some honesty is not good. Yes, there is some honesty which is not good. That can be valid. Some good is not best policy. Some good is not best policy is entirely possible, but I could have just put good here also like this, and then it would fail. None of the above. No. So the correct answer will be option number 2. Okay, and that will be your answer. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Some questions are difficult, some difficult are not attempted. So some questions are difficult. Here is questions, here is difficult. And some difficult are not attempted. So this could be attempted, okay, or this could be attempted, or this could be attempted also. So I'm marking this A1, A2, and A3. All right, now let's take a look and see what is the correct answer. So we said some questions are not attempted. Now the problem here is that I could have placed A here also, or I could have placed A here also, overlapped it. So therefore A is invalid. Some questions are attempted. I don't know. In this case, none of them are. Some questions are not difficult, but again, there are some questions which are difficult, so there is an overlap, so not valid. Some difficult are questions, yes, possible, but also that is the only one that is possible because that is a direct conversion. Remember, conversions are valid. So answer will be 4. Only the fourth one is possible. Let's look at the next question. The next question they have asked you, they've given you 4 different options. Only conclusion 1 and 4 follow, only conclusion 1 follow, either 1 or 3 follows, or all follow. So let's do this. So some houses are cement and all houses are brick. So some houses are cement. This is house, this is cement, and all houses are brick could be drawn like this. Right? Now let us see. Some cement is brick, yes, valid. All cement is brick? No. Some cement is not brick? Yes, valid. But the problem is that cement could have been included also, so therefore invalid. And some houses are, remember, negative answers are not possible from positive premises. So therefore answer has to be only 1 follows, and therefore answer will be option number 2. All right, let's look at the second question. 1 and 4 follows, 1 or 3 follows, 1 follows, or all follows. Some mobiles are calculators. Here are mobiles, here are calculators. And all calculators are watches. So here are calculators, here are watches. So can I say all mobiles are watches? No. Can I say some mobiles are watches? Yes, I can see that here. So answer has to be only 2 follows. And okay, so answer will be only 2 follows. Okay. All right, let's look at the next question. Only 1 and 4 follows, only 1 follows, all follows, either 1 or 3 follows. Okay. All bullfrogs are big, all buffaloes are big. So here is big. Here are bullfrogs. And here are buffaloes. And then we say some bullfrogs are dangerous. So of course these could be dangerous bullfrogs. Now can I say that no buffaloes are bullfrogs? It's possible, but this also is a possibility of buffaloes. So therefore I cannot say that. No dangerous are big. Again, I cannot say that because from affirmatives I cannot get a negative answer. Some dangerous are big, but yes, that is entirely possible. Okay. But I could have also had a situation where dangerous and big are overlapping. So therefore, no. Let's look at the next one. Some big are buffaloes. Now, if I have some big are buffaloes, yes, because all buffaloes are big. So some big are buffaloes will be very valid. Okay, so answer here should be only option 4. Okay. Only 4 follows, and that's your correct answer. All right, let's look at question number 6. Only 3 follows, 2 or 3 follows, 1 or 4 follows, or 1 and either 2 or 3 follows. So here is your question. Let's take a look. Also, we've already done this question, guys. Okay. So therefore, we've done it. Okay, so remember your 3 types of questions: course of action, cause effect, and syllogisms. For course of action, remember situational decisions, judgment, practicality, balance. The action has to be logical, feasible. Remember not to go for any emotional or impractical actions. Cause effect, looking for logical relationships. There has to be causal sequencing. Cause will precede effect. Don't confuse correlation for causation. And syllogisms, deductive logic. So this is analytical reasoning. You are looking at relations between categories and assuming unproven overlap is the trap for you. All right, if you have any questions, guys, feel free to ask me. All right, so we will wrap it up now. Okay, by the way, just for your information, Mondays and Fridays, we are doing 1 p.m. We are doing Snap, and 8:30 p.m. we are doing CAT. So do make sure you're joining in for both these sessions for this entire month, guys. Okay. All right, the CL Muscled Up app is already available to maximize every minute of your prep. Please use it. You can join us on Android from this QR code, for iOS for this QR code. You can just go to App Store or Play Store and download, right? All right, that brings me to the end of today's session. Thank you so much, everybody. I will see you soon. Bye bye.